Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Clutch Talk podcast /YouTube/ We Do It All. As always, I'm your host, John. Very happy to be here. My boy Jay Hiz over there in the six. How you doing, my dog?
I'm doing great. You know, we got two great guests on today. We got, Junior, a huge friend of the show, got a lot of history with us, our guy, and then we got a very, Jay, John, the fans were talking to us. People have been saying we got to double back on one particular guest. This is a controversial guest we had on for the Raptors preview. My guy, my brother, David Oko. We got him back on this episode, man. I'm excited, Jay. Say a little something to the fans, y'all.
What's up, my dogs, bro? I'm happy to be back. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
Yo, Clutch Talk, bro. Hold on, Junior. Yo, Clutch Talk, bro. I owe you one on fantasy, bro. Jeez. Anyways, bro, let's go back on that. Yo, back to normal.
That's hella funny. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to be here too. Chopping it up with you guys, talking about hoops, man. We got a full house today, so I'm looking forward to it.
Got a full house, man. All the brothers here, man. We're gonna talk about some hoops. So, Oku, Junior, I'm very happy to have you guys on, man. But like how me and Jay Hill always say on the other episodes, we're gonna skip the small talk. And as long as the fans subscribe, comment, follow our Instagram, we're going to get straight to the hoop talk, man. So let's get straight into it. Like how we've been doing for these past couple of episodes, we've been starting with the up or down report. So that's exactly what we're going to do here, guys. So let me kick it off with the first statement here. And that is the Denver Nuggets will be a play-in team. Jay Hill, kick it off for us. Are you up or down?
What's their current seed right now? Yeah, they're 13-13 right now. I mean, they got a lot of people out. And I'm just gonna look who's in front of them right now. So, in terms of they're not gonna be ahead of the Suns. They're not gonna be ahead of the Warriors. Not gonna be ahead of the Jazz. The way the Grizzlies are playing right now, don't have them in front of them. The Clippers don't have them in front of them. There's a chance they get Kawhi back at some point later in the season. Clippers are playing well, even without Paul George. We've seen that last few games. Oko, you've seen that too, being a member of your club. But also the Lakers. The Lakers, I could see them passing. They're right; those are the 6 and 7 seeds. So I right now I'm down on that. I think they're a better basketball team than the Lakers, in my opinion. So I have them as a 6th seed ahead of the Lakers right now.
Junior, what's up?
I'm up on it. I think they're going to be the 7th seed. Like, they'll be right there. I think it'll be close with that Lakers, Clippers, Grizzlies, Nuggets. I think it's going to be all within a matter of a few games. But I do think the Nuggets will ultimately falter out a little bit more and low into a lower seed just because they're dealing with so many injuries. It's not even – if they had a full squad, it wouldn't even be a question. It'd be all the way down on it. But they just have too many injuries to too many significant players. So I got them in the play-in games.
My boy Oku.
Bro, I'm up on that. I think Clippers are going to fall off, though. But
I agree.
I think Nuggets are going to be that 7th to 9th seed. That's my prediction around there. Because I can see the Mavericks coming back with if Luka starts getting right. Trailblazers obviously don't got Dame right now. CJ's out. So they could also make a big push. Timberwolves have been super underrated this year. But, they're probably going to be around that playing spot. I don't see them. The only team that I could see them going above is Clippers. But Lakers are definitely not a playing team.
Okay,
I could definitely see the Lakers being in play-in.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Oku and Junior, man. I definitely cannot see the Lakers being the play-in team, but it's difficult right now. It's difficult with the Denver Nuggets and their health, man. You know, they're missing so many key players, and now they're having to bring two-way players to play vital key minutes, man. And I just think that that's not an equation for a team that will be a top 5 team in the East, man. I know the Lakers have had some struggles. I know the Clippers are missing arguably their best player, but I think that over the span of an 82-game season, both teams will be able to find their footing and be able to hit the road. Unlike the Denver Nuggets, so I'm up on that one, man. But all right, so let's keep it pushing, man. The next statement that we have here are the Utah. Now, when I say this, right, it's going to sound crazy at first, but you got to listen to what I'm going to say after, man. The Utah Jazz are real title contenders, not playoff contenders, title contenders. And I know you're going to look at me, or some of the guys listening are like, what, John, what are you talking about? The Jazz are the number 3 seed. They're killing right now. But every single year, what do we see the Utah Jazz do? Be a great dominant regular season team and then just get bounced in the playoffs. Last year they got bounced in the second round, and then 2019 and 2020 they got bounced in the first round. And all 3 of those years they were dominant dominant regular season teams. Everyone thought was a serious title contender. So my question to you guys is, are you guys up or down on the Utah Jazz being a real title contender this year?
Down. I think the Jazz are a great regular season team, but when it comes to the playoffs, the same thing always happens to the Jazz, and that's, do they have a clear number 1 option? No, it is clearly Donovan Mitchell, excuse me. But I don't think the rest of the pieces they have, and especially Rudy Gobert, who's one of their secondary piece, like he's huge for them in the regular season, but we've seen him time after time be played off the court, be able to be in the games in late periods of the game in the playoffs. And I think the same thing is going to hold true this season. There's no reason for me to believe any reason. Plus, I think coming out of the West right now, the clear favorites are the Warriors and the Suns. It's going to be one of those two. Those are the top of the West right now. So I don't have the Jazz better than either of those 2 teams. So that's why I'm down on them being a title contender.
Down on that too. I just don't think they're in the same level as the other teams. There are several other teams who I'd have winning a championship before I have the Jazz from both the West and the East. So I don't think they're quite on that level yet to be contending for a title. But they're the next level right under it. I do think that, but none of that top elite level yet.
Yeah, I'm up on it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm up on it. The only thing is, like, you said title contender, John, right? Like you didn't say they're winning the championship. Title contender. They're a legitimate title contender team. Like, we got to look at the Bucks. The Bucks before this past year, same story of the Jazz. They were great regular season team. They're winning every year. And then what happened in the playoffs? Fold. Like, teams learn and build from that experience. Like, Jazz, the main issue has been health. So we've never seen Jazz go into a playoff run with Conley healthy, Donovan Mitchell healthy. You know, so if they have their health together, they're a legitimate title contender. They have one of the top defenses in the league. Well, I think they're a little bit fall off this year, but I think it's going to pick back up. And they have a really efficient offense. They could definitely be a title contender.
Man,
the one thing though that I want to say just real quick on Oko's point, you brought up a good point with the Bucks. I was thinking the same thing. Every year they were always doing great, winning the East since LeBron left, and not doing anything in the playoffs. But the Bucks do have Giannis, and I don't think that the Jazz have anybody who's a top 10 talent in the NBA. Like, Donovan Mitchell would be their best player, and I don't think he's a top 10 player in the NBA. And that's no disrespect to Donovan Mitchell. There's just that many great players out there. And I think that's a difference maker, in my opinion.
Where do you rank Donovan Mitchell? Like, where would you put him in? Top
15. I'd have to sit down and I could think of a list, but he'd be probably closer to top 15 before top 10 for me.
Facts. And I also think that, like, in terms of the Jazz, their players outside of Donovan Mitchell, yeah, you could say he's top 15, but reliable buckets. The Bucks had Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday, who turned up being huge for them. Nice, reliable buckets after Giannis. The Jazz don't have anyone. Like, Jordan Clarkson might be their next best playmaker on that team, and he's streaky at best. Like, we've seen what he does. Like, he can go off one game and then be non-existent. We saw that in the Clippers. Like, he fell off there when they needed him the most, with all those guys out, especially Mike Conley. I don't think Mike Conley's it, especially with his health. He's unreliable. So that second option, and it's definitely not Rudy Gobert, to rely on him to get a bucket. We know he's more of a defender than anything, Oko. So just to fire back on you with your point. But yeah, no.
Man, and I got to even it up, man. I got to tie it all up. Junior and Jay Hill, when we're down, I'm right there with Oko, man. I'm right there on up. And only because, man, just the last couple of years, I've been a consistent, honestly, like, you could say a hater for the Utah Jazz. Like, I didn't really believe in him. I always tell Jay all the time, Rudy Gobert is a great regular season player, but can't play in the playoffs, gets played off the court. Like, availability is the greatest thing. But, man, this year, and I know we're relatively early in the year. This year, my boy Rudy Gobert has been proving people wrong. We'll talk about a little bit more about him later in the episode. I got some more to talk about him, but he has been proving so many people wrong, man. Being able to stretch his game a little bit further out. That was the biggest problem with him, and just the defensive anchor. Like, man, like I don't think it's a single player. And I used to say Miles Turner might be a better defender than him. Like, no, not at all, dog. Like Rudy Gobert is a dog on defense. It just blocks virtually anything that gets in the paint. The man could be on the other side of the paint and could get there and still get a block, man. That is huge when it comes to the playoffs. Rim protection, and then Donovan Mitchell, man. The Jay and Junior, you guys talked about Donovan Mitchell not being that player that you really need to be a real title contender. And I definitely agree, man. But I mean, we've known Donovan Mitchell, Spidey Mitchell, to turn up in the playoffs, man. Like that's what he do. Like when the playoffs come around, that's when he turn up. That's when he plays his best basketball, to be honest, man. So honestly, I don't. It'll be hard to see him messing with the Warriors and the Suns, the top two teams out the East. But man, I think I would be crazy this year to say that they're not title contenders from the improvements that they've made, man. But all right, man. So if you guys got no more to add to that, we'll move to our next up or down. You got something to say, Jay, or no?
No, I was just saying, like, if Rudy Gobert could shoot threes, bro, he would be the best player in the league. But that's an alternate universe type.
That's an alternate, yeah. All right, man. So then let's keep it pushing, man, and let's get to our next up or down. And this one, I'm excited to talk about this one with you guys because I think I know which way Jay's leaning on this. Because I mean, I know Jay. I think I know which way Junior's leaning on this. So that's why I'm real excited to hear what you say. You got to say, Oku. So I'm gonna let you lead this one off, man. So our next statement is: Luka Doncic is a better player than Trae Young. Are you up or are you down on that, Oku? We want you to kick it off for us.
Yeah, I'm going to be up on Trae Young. Reason I'm up on Trae Young, I am more up on Luka Doncic, like long-term development, but right now Trae Young, just because of the last season he had. Like, we have to remember Luka Doncic, he's super inefficient. He's a high turnover player. Yes, he has that old man game that can last forever. But with Trae Young, he has that, like, he's really ice. And what he's done in the playoffs is a lot more than Luka Doncic. Like, we gotta remember, like, he is carrying the Mavs to the playoffs every year. But what are they going out? First and out. Like that series against the Clippers, like they had no reason losing that. Like, if you're really that guy, you got to take your team over that hump. You had a guy like Trae Young come in. He beat the Knicks. Everyone counted him out. He beat Philly. Everyone counted him out. And regardless, they still gave a good competition against Bucks, even though they didn't win. And realistically, who knows if Trae Young's health stayed up, what happened in that series. So I'm going Trae Young now. I think he's a more efficient player. He's a little bit less on the turnovers. And I think his game is like, I think he's a young Curry, like in the making right now.
Okay, so real quick, Jay Hill's like,
whoa, right now.
Jay Hill's like, relax, dog. But real quick, so just I guess to rebuttal and go back to that, and I hear you. I definitely hear you that Trae Young has gone farther and has proven more with his team. But let's also, like I said, with the team, let's look at the team though. Luka Doncic, his numbers are inefficient because who else is going to score on that team? KP, that finally got playing good this year. Jalen Brunson, who's like 6'2", you great scorer, right? But like, you're not going to be a prolific scorer in this league, and you can't really get into the paint like that, right? And Trae Young, I would agree that Trae Young has a better team. I think he has a better overall team than Luka, which helps him, be able to get further. But I feel you with your point as far as like the inefficiency. But the only reason why I'll give my answer. My answer is Luka, and I'm up more on Luka, and that's because I feel that Luka does more on the court as overall. Like, I definitely get it. Trae Young is ice coming off the screen, step back, far threes. Very fun to watch. But Luka Doncic's game, like how you said, is gonna be in the long term. And in my opinion, he has more weight on him. He has to do much more for the Mavs than Trae Young has to do for the Hawks, man. But
let me ask you this, John. Like, have you ever heard a report from the Hawks saying someone doesn't like playing with Trae Young? Why do we hear that from Luka? When you watch Luka, it's literally just Luka, and you can't say that because he does have pieces on his team. Like, I could make a case that his second best player, KP, is better than anybody Trae Young has on his team.
Stop it.
We could make that case. We could make that case.
Stop it, Oakley.
That's a legitimate case.
Clint Capella.
That's a legitimate case. That KP is the second, but he still could be better than John Collins or Clint Capella. He's better than Clint Capella. John Collins and KP are debatable, but I would probably say KP still. Like, forget about the health. Plays. Forget about the health. Just straight game. Like, you got to think about that. Like, he's still got a better second star with him. And Luka Doncic, in all honesty, he doesn't utilize his players that are around him.
Yeah,
like you can't say that.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel that Luka Doncic is. I mean, he leads the league. I don't know if he's currently leading the league right now, but I mean, for the past 2 years, we've seen him lead the league multiple times in triple doubles because of those assists, because of those rebounds. And you can't tell me he's out there stat chasing.
Off catch and shoot though, off kickouts. It's a lot of just Luka Doncic step back, call for a pick and roll, step back. And
Agreed.
That's really it.
Agreed, but is that not Trae Young's? Does Trae Young not come down court every single time, run a pick and roll with John Collins and Clint Capella, for the lob?
Trae Young moves off the ball. Trae Young plays off the ball.
Okay, so you're talking a bit more off the ball. Okay, I'll give you that. Luka Doncic is definitely one of those lazy players. You know, when he's not guarding the ball, he's standing up straight up. I'll give you that. I definitely will give you that, and the efficiency, man. But I just don't know, man, because I just think Luka is just one of those generational athletes, like one of those, I'm not trying to put in the same light as LeBron, but like one of those, like, wow, like we get a Luka or we get a LeBron. And I feel like there's going to be a lot more of Trae Young's coming up, man. Stephen Curry's had the influence on this world. So there's little kids out there, little 7-year-olds, little 8-year-olds, all they're doing is working on their shot, man. So I think that there could be another Trae Young, but I don't think there will never be another Luka, man. But all right. But I feel you, Oku. I feel you. You're not far off, but Junior and Jay Hill, talk to me. I think I know you guys feel, but talk to me though.
Luka for sure. I think Luka for sure. I think that Oka brought up an interesting point with that clip series, because I think that just the fact that Luka by himself took them boys to 7 games was impressive. Like, I think that if Luka wasn't in that team, they're probably getting swept against that Clippers team. And he single-handedly was able to pull 3 games off of them, damn near took the series. Trae Young has got a better team. I think if Luka was on that Hawks team, well, I mean, I guess you could talk about how fit would work and things like that, but just pound for pound, I think that the Hawks without Trae and the Mavericks without Luka, the Hawks were a much better team in an easier conference. So Luka was doing this in a harder conference with a worse team. That's another point that you can make an argument that I can go against Luka, the fact that he's not going as far in the playoffs, but I'm looking at the fact that he's even getting them that far. With what he has. And I mean, if we want to say, just because you did say Trae Young was a Curry in the making, we'll say like a Curry light, like a dollar store Curry. You can say Luka's a dollar store LeBron because of that style of game. Like, absolutely. He's out there racking up them triple doubles. He's out there racking up them. He's great great facilitator. He can get rebound. He can kind of do it all for the team too. So if we're going on that trend, then it becomes another Curry versus LeBron debate, which we're not going to have. but it's an interesting thing to kind of look at it from that perspective. So I'm going Luka. No disrespect to Trae. Trae is great, but I still think I'm giving it to Luka today.
Tiebreaker Jay, what's up? What is it?
I got Ray for Trae Young, and let me tell you why. He's been to the pinnacle of the East. He's been to the best. He's been to the top. Where you want to get in your conference, he's been there. Despite having better pieces or not, I'm going to go with Oko. Like, you can have all the pieces in the world around you. It matters whether or not you're utilizing them. And we've seen Trae develop each year he's been in the league to a point where last year they're saying John Collins and Trae Young aren't going to work out, to now where he's relying on him. He either has Clint or John Collins in the pick and roll, and he's utilizing, making other players around him better day in, day out, seeing them struggling, saying lack of motivation from being in the Eastern Conference Finals to now getting up to play the Orlando Magic, guys like that, to seeing them on a huge run here and playing the best basketball that they've played all season, in spite of what, because of what Trae Young is doing and making them better each day, and each game, players around him. And I think he's just developed consistently. Not to take anything away from Luka, I think just in terms of what he does with the pieces around him, I think that he's a better overall basketball player right now. Not to say that Luka can't get there, just that he's a better condition player. He's a better teammate. You never heard these complaints like Oko said about him playing with him, because guys have learned to love playing with Trey because they know they're going to get touches. He knows how to implement. At the start of the game, he's getting all his guys going, and then he's reached that level where he knows that his shot's going to come, and then he can incorporate himself in the offense. Whereas Luka, I think he doesn't have that grasp yet, the understanding of have to get guys going around him, whether or not it's the pieces around him or what available to him. It doesn't matter. You got to know to get my secondary pieces involved and knowing you're going to get your shot eventually. So I'm going with Trey in this one.
Wow. Okay, man. That was not a nice little soliloquy, Jay. Nice little two-way tie we got there, man. So for the fans, you guys break the tie in the comments. Let us know, Luka or Trey, and as for what reason, man. But all right, guys, so let's get to our last little up or down report statement here, and this one will tie into our next segment here. So this last statement right here, Jay, I don't know if you want to kick it off here for us, is Sabonis has more trade value than Miles Turner. Are you up or down on that?
I'm down on that. I think Miles Turner is just what you want out of a big. Actually, but I have to backfire on that. He did say if he was a trade piece, that he wants to be the focal point of the offense on any team that he goes to. And I think that's not what you need for Miles Turner. I think he's a great pick and pop threat. He can also roll to the rim. Obviously, he's a great defender. I think in the right system, he can be a serviceable offensive threat, but he's not your number one guy. And that's what he said. He wants to be the number one focal point of an offense. So that in that case, I'm going to have to double back on that and say that Sabonis is the more skilled player, and he's willing to, I think, a little more willing to be like a second or third option, especially on a competing team, rather than Miles Turner, who somehow believes that he should be a number one option. Maybe on a team like the Magic, I don't know, maybe on a non-competing team, he can be the number one option. But if he thinks he can come to a team and demand the ball, I think that I would rather go with Sabonis in that situation. So I'm going with Sabonis. Yeah, I'm up on Sabonis. I'd take Sabonis. Yeah, okay. I'm up on Sabonis.
All right, yeah. Sure. Junior, what's up?
I couldn't be more up on Sabonis on that one. Sabonis, like Jason said, not only is he the more skilled player, he is outperforming Miles Turner statistically as well. He's averaging 18 points as opposed to Turner 13. 4 assists as opposed to Turner's 1, 12 rebounds as opposed to Turner's 7.4. Like he just has less blocks than Miles Turner, but that's because Miles Turner is one of the best blockers in the league, right? So that's not even, in one statistical category, I guess Turner is better, but I don't even think it's particularly close. Sabonis has got a lot more value than Turner, in my opinion.
Yeah, honestly, what I'm gonna say is, Sabonis is obviously the better player by far. But Jay, what Miles Turner said, he said he doesn't want to be a more glorified role player. He didn't say what particular option he wanted to be. He didn't say 1 or 2 or 3. He said I'm only being used here as a glorified role player, and he wants to be more than that. So I'm more up on Miles Turner because of what he can bring to a team. Because yes, Sabonis is better offensively in every aspect, not gonna lie. Defensively, Miles Turner is better in every aspect. Plus, I think you could fit Miles Turner onto almost any team, right? Like you have to build, if you get Sabonis, you have to have certain pieces to make it work and make it win. With Miles Turner, I could just plug and play him. I put him on the Warriors, you're not going to be like, oh, we got to move this dude. Yo, I put him on the Lakers, you're not going to be like, oh, I got to move this dude. Like you put him on any team, he could realistically play starting center. He hits threes, he blocks shots, he could finish around the rim. He's not a high volume usage player. He wants to get a little bit of a role. And I feel like if you get a coach to put him in a system where he's utilized a bit more than he is in Indiana, I think that makes him more of a valuable asset instead of getting Sabonis. And now it's like, okay, well, we got to run our offense through him. We got to get plays through him. We got to have a shooter here. We got to have this there. Turner doesn't need all that. So I'm more up on Turner. Okay. Just to rebuttal on that. So if he goes to, and I get, I've misphrased what he said. He wants to be a glorified role player. If he goes to the Lakers, Warriors, just 2 teams you mentioned. I'm just saying random teams. No. But just for hypothetically, if he goes to the Warriors or the Lakers, give you that situation, and he doesn't want to be a glorified role player.
On the Warriors, you got Steph, you got Clay, 1-2 option. You got Draymond, who's the clear facilitator. You got Andrew Wiggins, who's playing at an all-star level. That's 4 players. He's going to be a role
Warriors is a bad
team.
example. Warriors is a bad example.
I'm just saying.
Let's go Washington. Let's go Washington. Washington. Put Miles Turner on Washington.
Okay, that's
he's easily a top 3 option on Washington.
Agreed.
He would be. So would Sabonis.
Yeah.
But then again, because of Sabonis' offensive usage, you have to feature Sabonis a lot differently than you can Turner. Turner is a plug-and-play player. You know what I mean?
But I feel what you're saying, Oku.
Let me. I want to ask something to all you guys then. So we can all agree that Sabonis or Turner could never be number 1 options on championship winning teams. Right?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Maybe they could be number 2 options. And I think that a team with Sabonis as a number 2 as opposed to a team that has Turner as a number 2 is a better team, in my opinion. You guys,
I agree with that.
What would you guys feel?
I agree with that.
I
Wait, so Oko, do you think he's on a number 2 or 3 option on the Wizards? He's a competitor. But
the question John asked is whose trade value is more. If I'm trying to trade for a player right at this moment, and I'm not trying to build a new team from offseason, Miles Turner has more because he's a plug-and-play player. I'm not gonna have to have this huge adjustment with Miles Turner. With Sabonis, I'm gonna have to have a big adjustment. Trade value, yes, but if I'm to get a free agent signing and maybe build up a team, maybe I'll go more with Sabonis. But as a trade value, I'm taking Turner right now.
I feel you, Oku, because the way I feel about it is I feel that Sabonis is a better player. Sabonis is a better overall player. Like if I'm on the court and I am playing 5s, I got to pick somebody up. I'm picking Sabonis up because offensively he's bringing much more than Miles Turner, and it's not that far off in the defensively. But I also feel what you're saying, which as far as Sabonis is more of he can't fit in any offense, right? Like Miles Turner. Maybe he won't be the second or third option on every team, but any team could use a rim protection big that gets like 2 or 3 blocks a game. So I definitely feel what you're saying, Oku, but I would have to side with the side of having Sabonis with more trade value, man. But all right, so then let's get into this real special segment that we got here, man. Since we talk about Sabonis and the Pacers, let's get into it. All right, guys, here it is. It's called Deal or No Deal, Indiana Pacers edition. This is how this is going to work, guys. I have some players here from the Indiana Pacers that I would trade them for other teams that make sense for the Indiana Pacers that are rebuilding. I'm not going to be like Sabonis for Kevin Durant. Like I'm going to say players that make sense for the Indiana Pacers, and then it could make sense or it could not make sense. It's up to you to tell me if it makes sense for the other team. So let's do deal or no deal. And just so we can have this in a order, we'll go Jay, Junior, and then Oko, just in this order right there. So first one, let's kick it off, man. And that is Sabonis for Wiseman and Kuminga.
No, no deal. I think that if you want to deal with Wiseman and maybe Moody and another piece, maybe like a Chris Chioza or maybe like a draft pick or something, you could do that. But just the flashes and just the overall talent I've seen from Jonathan Kuminga and maybe a Kawhi type player, eventually, if he is able to work on his shot and be that caliber player, that's maybe his ceiling or something he can eventually get to, just his frame and overall his ability to kind of one day maybe play guard 1 through 5 and his versatility. No, I'm not willing to do that and mortgage that for a guy who Sabonis, like Oko had said, it would be a hard fit. It would be kind of an interesting fit for Sabonis to come in, a guy who's probably looking to be the 1 or 2 option where we already have a big facilitator in Draymond and the Warriors should say we. And you bring in a guy like Sabonis who's similar to a facilitating big. He can play kind of that point forward position, and they already have Draymond. So I don't think it's a naturally good fit. And so no deal in that case.
The first thing that I thought when you said that was, what are you going to do with Draymond Green? Right. So it's Jay brought up that point too. It's the first thing I thought about. Now you could move Sabonis to play the 5. You can play center. He's 6'11". Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the shortest your center should probably be is 6'11". But I'm gonna say, and if you would ask me this like last year, I probably would have said deal. This year, I'm going to say no deal because the Warriors are 21-5.
Yeah.
What they're doing is working. I wouldn't mess with it. You know, like I think you should only tweak what needs to be tweaking, and what the Warriors are doing right now doesn't need to be tweaking. They're about to reintroduce Klay Thompson back here this season, probably.
Yeah,
they will, not probably. They will reintroduce Klay Thompson back this season. So I think that right now you just don't mess with it, just because of how well they're doing, though. But if it was like another team that wasn't 21-5, I'd probably say you do those two players for Sabonis. I'd probably say you do it, but not in the Warriors' case.
Yeah, I'm with Jay and JR. Like, no deal, but no deal because of the Warriors aspect. Like, Pacers, that's definitely a deal for them that I would do if I was Pacers and I could get two young players like that for Sabonis. Just with the Warriors, just like JR said, like, they're too good of a team right now. They have too much, like, they already have to reintegrate Klay Thompson. It's going to be too much to have it's going to be too much to have I'm sorry again, yo. I'm sorry, Jay just fucked me up again. I'm sorry. Jay just fucked me up.
I've gotten a couple.
Junior, my fault, bro. You should think, and I see JR, bro.
I've gotten a couple JRs before. I just let it slide. It's good.
Yeah, my fault.
For any of the podcast listeners, man, we have to fill them in while we're laughing, guys. So Oku's calling Junior JR, but I mean, and then Jay Hill hit him in the chat and said it's Junior.
Yeah.
You all good though, Uncle. We get it.
But yeah, John, what I said, bro, easily, like, I'll say no deal just because of what the Warriors have going on and really have to reintegrate Klay Thompson. I'm not doing the deal, but Pacers way, like, they would get a win on that. Like, that's a good deal for Pacers.
Okay, for sure. And then just a quick question, then for all you guys don't need to go crazy into this, but is there anybody on the Pacers that you guys could ship for Wiseman and Kuminga to the Warriors that you guys would?
I
no.
wouldn't. No.
Not a single player
is working. I wouldn't.
And the simple fact that already what I mentioned earlier, Oko kind of said was that, you know, Miles Turner wants to be not a glorified role player, and he would be a role player on the Warriors. So if he comes in thinking anything other than that, then he's got the wrong idea.
Like Brogdon, LeVert, you
no,
would take it? Okay.
None of them.
Okay.
Unless you're getting pennies on the dollar. Like you're getting fantastic
for Wiseman and Kuminga.
Yeah, and they got big contracts too. It wouldn't be a hard fit. You got to give up some other pieces.
All right. I just wanted to check that out. All right, so let's move to the next one then. The next one here is Malcolm Brogdon for Gary Trent Jr. You guys, deal or no deal in this?
That's a deal for me. I think that you're bringing in. We've seen what Fred VanVleet can do with another ball handler and playmaker when he was with Kyle, and you bring in a guy like Malcolm Brogdon, who's another defensive-minded, gritty kind of player, fits great into that Raptors system. I think it would be a great, like, easy plug-and-play fit, especially in a guy like Nurse's system who loves those kind of athletic, gritty, hardworking players. I think it'd be easy fit, and then you're giving up a contract in a guy like Gary Trent Jr., who, if you're looking to rebuild, as the Pacers probably are looking to do, I think he's a great piece to have with a rebuilding team. And then you'd probably look to tank after that. You get rid of a guy like Brogdon. So it's a deal for me.
Okay.
So it depends what perspective you're talking about. I think that the Pacers can get a lot more than Gary Trent Jr. So if I'm the Pacers, I'm not even offering that. If I'm the Raptors, I'm happily accepting that. So that's the perspective. Like, it's a no deal for the Pacers, it's a deal for the Raptors. Because I mean, Jay Hill just touched on all the points. I mean, you just have a better player in Brogdon that you're gonna just replace Gary Trent Jr. with. So I'm going Brogdon on the way on that one.
No deal. I would not trade Gary Trent for Malcolm Brogdon. Now, Gary Trent, like, Malcolm Brogdon is the better player, but the Raptors system, first of all, the main reason I'm not doing that trade, I don't want to have an undersized backcourt with Malcolm Brogdon and Fred VanVleet. Malcolm Brogdon is what, 6'3", 6'4", maybe? I'm pretty sure he's 6'3".
6'5", right?
No,
maybe I'm wrong.
Jay Hill, fact check us.
6'5".
6'5".
Yeah, he's 6'5".
Brogdon's 6'5"?
Okay.
Yeah, he's 6'5".
You know what? I might just do that deal then.
Yeah, Brogdon's big. He's a big guard.
I honestly, bro, he always looks so much smarter than me. But honestly, John, I like the deal more for someone getting Karis LeVert on the Raptors.
Okay.
Some way we can do where Trent and somebody else to get Karis LeVert on the Raptors is a much better deal than Malcolm Brogdon. I think we need more, like the Raptors. I don't want to say we, but the Raptors, they need more of a go-to bucket getter that can really just score. And yes, Malcolm Brogdon has flashes of that, but I think Karis LeVert's the type of guy they need. Plus the season Trent's averaging I think 16 points. He's averaging almost 2 steals. So I wouldn't really go with that. I don't even think Gary Trent would be a good fit on a rebuilding team for where he's at as a career now. So I wouldn't do that deal.
Okay, and I see both. I really do see both perspectives, right? Like I definitely see the perspective that Malcolm Brogdon. I mean, it's a fact. He's a better player right now. December 12, 2021, he's a better player. But I think that Gary Trent Jr. has a higher ceiling than Malcolm Brogdon. I don't think we're going to see Malcolm Brogdon coming down court and doing anything extra that he's already done. Like, this is a player that he is. And this is the player he's going to be in the NBA. Gary Trent, there's flashes, and with those flashes, there's ain't no telling what he could do, man. So I would have to side with the deal on that, to be able to get a young player in Gary Trent to the rebuilding Pacers, and then for the Raptors, I really like that point you made, Jay, of putting Freddie with another playmaking guard like Kyle Lowry and Malcolm Brogdon. Mm-hmm. So all right, so let's keep it pushing, because we got a couple for these guys. So Pacers got some good guys, a lot of rebuilding to do, a lot of blowing up to do, man. So the next one that we have here is T.J. Warren and Karis LeVert for Cam Reddish. Deal or no deal?
If I'm the Pacers, deal, sorry, but maybe give me someone else.
You go first. My bad.
Yeah, no, maybe deal, but I want someone else, like Cam Reddish, maybe.
And who?
I don't know, maybe
DeAndre Hunter
or something. No, not that. I don't think the Hawks aren't going to give up DeAndre Hunter. That's a no deal for me. But I want something else, like maybe a Gallinari. No, not a Gallinari. I don't know contractually. Maybe like a Kai Jones. Is he on the?
Kai Jones is on the Pelicans, I believe.
Yeah,
but no, just forget it contractually. Yeah. Just talk to me about player to player GM. Like, contracts, that's a whole different thing. We know
Bogdanovich.
Ooh. I don't know if the Hawks are giving all that up.
I like Hunter. I think Hunter would be more than a fair trade. Like, you're getting T.J. Warren. Like, if he's healthy, what are you going to do with DeAndre Hunter? They already have a log in the backcourt. You're going to have LeVert and DeAndre Hunter and this, and like, I think you got to get rid of DeAndre Hunter too.
Okay, I'm with you on that. I'm not gonna lie. That was my original one that I had on paper on my notes here. But I was like, the Hawks wouldn't do that. The Hawks wouldn't give up 2 great players. But I agree with your point, though. Why would you have T.J. Warren, Warren and DeAndre Hunter? But what's up, Junior?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like, if they're only getting Cam Reddish, like, that's great for the Hawks. But I think if you add DeAndre Hunter, it becomes a little bit more balanced trade. But then you start getting into are the Hawks even doing this at this point? So
okay,
maybe get a young fella like that cat from Chino Hills, the Oneka.
What
about some draft picks? What about a first rounder? What about Cam Reddish in a first rounder? I mean,
I'm not doing that for my Hawks.
You're not doing
maybe
that for
a second
Hawks?
Rounder. Yeah, second rounder.
Whoa, Jay, whoa.
What's the first rounder that you need for the deal? It's Cam Reddish in a first rounder, and that's the
with Karis LeVert. You guys must have forgot Karis.
That's what I think saying. You must have watched Karis LeVert this year. Karis LeVert is playing like butt cheeks this year.
He's coming back though. He just said his back's 100% healthy. Trust me, I know about Karis LeVert's stats more than everyone here, so I know.
He's a fantasy guy for those of our listeners.
My fantasy team.
He's a LeVert expert.
Yeah, but like LeVert is starting to come back. Like his past games, he's averaging almost 17 points, like over. So he's starting to come back healthy. He's just come back from that stress fracture. So like I would definitely have to give up some picks.
Okay. All right. So we're going with deals on the board or what are we doing?
If you include the picks, deal.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right, so let's keep it pushing then, man. Sabonis for Patrick Williams and Kobe White.
Like no
deal. Yeah, no deal if I'm the
Pacers. Yeah,
okay.
No,
agreed. Wow. No deal if I'm the Pacers.
And then
I'd probably if the Bulls actually offer that, I would petition to have him arrested because that is
It's robbery. Yeah, that's some.
They're really trying to fleece the Pacers.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to be the controversial guy, but Patrick Williams he's gonna be a problem, dog. Like he's a defensive paralysis out there, man. But I feel you. I hear what you're saying, though. I hear what you're saying. I'm not trying to be Stephen A. Smith out here. But all right. So let's keep it pushing then. Miles Turner for Marcus Smart.
Deal.
Oh,
Deal. If I'm the Celtics, deal.
Junior?
From the Celtics perspective, for sure.
Yeah. I just don't know what they'd have to get. I don't know what they would get out for like the Pacers because they need young players that they're trying to rebuild. Like you got to split Marcus Smart. No, Pacers. Pacers need young players, so they need to throw in another young player there.
Okay.
Celtics 2 years ago should have got Miles Turner. I don't know what they're doing. They signed Tristan Thompson. They should have got Miles Turner 2 years ago. They may be 2 years too late.
Yeah.
I need more.
Brody, that Thompson deal did the man.
Facts.
All right, let's keep it pushing, man. Let's talk about Malcolm Brogdon for Ben Simmons and Tyrese Maxey. Because Tyrese has got a lot of potential, man. He's got a lot of potential.
That's too much Pacer, too much 76ers are giving up.
But you're giving up Ben Simmons.
They need to get rid of Ben Simmons.
And you're getting Malcolm Brogdon back.
But you're getting nothing. Yeah, but then you're also giving up Tyrese Maxey. Maxey's a problem in himself.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. Absolutely.
I'm not giving up Tyrese.
Like you'd probably have to give me Brogdon and LeVert. Like I'm not just gonna throw you in Maxey. Maxey's a problem this year.
Agreed.
Like him, you know what I mean? And he's only gonna get better. So like if you're doing Brogdon for Maxey, I like that trade more because you're getting a problem guard.
So let me ask you this then, just quick rebuttal, because I absolutely agree. Tyrese Maxey is a problem of himself, and his ceiling is higher than Malcolm Brogdon's. But does his window fit Joel Embiid's window? Because I mean, Joel Embiid is a hella dominant player. I mean, we've seen him play. When he plays, he's a dominant player. And how long is he going to be able to continue this dominant stretch? Not for too long. And does that window have time to let Tyrese Maxey catch up and instead bring him a veteran point guard like Malcolm Brogdon to the team?
Yeah, like I would like 76ers to make more of a play to try to maximize what they have with Embiid right now. I don't know why they're being so reluctant. Like I understand even if you lose Ben Simmons for somebody that, okay, he's not at Ben Simmons levels or potential, like you need to build a team that could better suit them. Like everyone does not talk about Tobias Harris. He's had the biggest pass all his whole career in 76ers. I never hear anybody put any blame on Tobias Harris. He played awful against the Hawks too. No one talks about Tobias Harris. Everyone's Ben Simmons. Tobias Harris is supposed to be a max contract player, which he is. He's supposed to be an all-star, which he never was. And he's supposed to be a star. Like, why does Tobias Harris get no blame? So they need to start getting pieces. Like, even if they could get McCollum, which is when he gets healthy.
I've been saying.
You know what I mean? You got to have somebody that could actually complement these guys. And if Ben Simmons is not the guy to complement, yeah, you might lose in talent-wise, but you can build a better team.
And does Brogdon not
Brogdon addresses that?
Does he not compliment Embiid? Because in my opinion, he compliments Embiid of right now better than Tyrese Maxey. As of right now, better than Tyrese Maxey.
Better than Tyrese Maxey and Ben Simmons.
Absolutely. So is that a deal to you or no?
It's a deal. It's a deal, but like they have to throw in more if I'm giving up Ben Simmons. Like just for the sheer talent he is. Like I won't just throw him in for Brogdon.
But they're in such a bind. Like Ben Simmons is never playing for the Sixers again. Like his trade, and John will tell you, like Ben Simmons is my guy. John can vouch for that. I'm not shitting on Ben Simmons, but I just think his trade value is so low because he just has such a strained relationship with the Sixers that I feel that any competent GM should be able to get something, Ben Simmons and another piece, especially when they're giving him a player of Malcolm Brogdon's caliber. And that's why I initially said it was a deal. Like for the Pacers, this is a great deal because you're getting Simmons and Maxey. The Sixers might be a little reluctant, but they might also need a reality check. Like they might not be able to just ship out Ben Simmons for nothing. Remember the D'Angelo Russell situation with the Lakers? Like he had a strained relationship in that locker room, and they had to move a lot to be able to move. Oh, sorry, they actually had to. They threw him in to move Timofey Mozgov's contract, I believe. I don't remember. It was a while back. But regardless, like they had to give up more than he was worth because of the situation. And I think the Ben Simmons situation is worse than that D'Angelo Russell situation ever was. So they're just gonna have to give up more. I mean, if they can get away with keeping Maxey, that'd be great. But we just have to look at what's realistic.
All right, Jay, deal or no deal?
No deal. I think that that giving up Maxey and Ben Simmons, Maxey, a guy who, I'm so high on, also a member of Get Niggy with it. But not only that, I just think that he's playing at a great level. You're giving up so much. Ben Simmons, and on the Pacers side of things, I think they're reluctant to even give up that much. Ben Simmons' value is so low right now that you're probably not going to get a guy like Malcolm Brogdon in return, especially right now what Ben Simmons and the Sixers have done to just cripple and ruin that relationship between both parties. So no deal. And I think neither team will be able to even get those players.
All right. So then let's move to our last deal or no deal here. And that is the one I've been hearing the most people talk about. And that is Miles Turner for PJ Washington and James Bouknight from the Hornets. Are you guys taking that deal or no deal?
On the Pacers, I'm not.
Wow.
Yeah. Hornet. Yeah.
Wow. Nope. You're not. No, you guys aren't taking that?
I am if I'm the Pacers. If your goal is to rebuild? And those are two great pieces. I don't think PJ Washington, he'll be a glorified role player his whole career because I don't see him being a star outside of that. Maybe a star in his role is what you need on a championship kind of team. But James Bouknight, we've seen him kind of struggle early on in his rookie season and then kind of come into his own, getting more looks, especially with all the guys that got out right now on the Hornets. And I think if you're trying to rebuild, that's the direction we want to go for the Pacers. I'm accepting. And if I'm the Hornets, that's exactly what you need. He comes in, he's a plug-in player, like Crowdy said, and that's exactly what the Hornets need: a starting five and a great all-star caliber player. So
yeah, I'm deal with that as well. I think both sides win.
I'm the odd one out on this one.
I'm right there. I'm right there. I'm deal with that, man. I mean, Jay knows how I feel about James Bouknight. He's just such a good young player. Has just so much
cold.
Cold, bro. Like he had 24 points the other day when LaMelo and Terry was out. So shout out to him, man. But all right. So
I just think that they can get more. That the Pacers can get more from Miles Turner than they would get in this deal. It's not an awful deal. It's not like the Pacers are getting fleeced or anything in that situation, but I think that there's more potential. I think that especially, we were talking about, like, we started this conversation with Kuminga and Wiseman, and now we're down to,
PJ Washington and James Bouknight.
So that's a big drop off for me. And maybe Kuminga and Wiseman is not a realistic deal, but what I'm saying, like, I think there's a middle ground there that the Pacers can get more. So that's why I say no on that one.
All right. I respect that. I mean, Miles Turner, he's a great glorified defensive player, man. So, all right. So then, guys, this is the part I'm honestly most excited about. Honestly, these last two segments are just so damn exciting because this is our first time we're revealing it. And this is like the first time we're doing like a game segment, man. So welcome, my guys, to a new segment called the All-Star Starters Draft. So this is how this is going to work, guys. December 25th, the NBA is gonna open up their ballots for the All-Star voting. So what we're gonna do over here on ClutchTalk is we always a little bit ahead of the game. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little early selection here of the starters, just the starters. So just 1 through 5. Okay. So this is the rules. This is how this is gonna work, right? There's no East or West. There's no East or West because the NBA has been like, just pick your players, right? So just pick your players, and then this is the way we're gonna do it in a draft order. So I'm thinking of a number right now, 1 through 25 in my head. Each of you will give me a number. Closest to that number is the first pick, second pick, third pick. And then you guys will each in order, right? So let's say like Jay Hill gets the first pick. He will pick his captain, and then let's say Junior gets the second pick, and then Junior gets the second pick. Junior will pick his captain, Oku will pick his captain, and then back at the top, Jay Hill will pick his second player, Junior, Oku, and we'll just go like that. And you have 40 seconds to draft the player. Don't worry about it. I got the timer on hold here. There's no East, there's no West, and then at the end of all this, I will choose who I think has the best team, man. So
we're just picking 5 players, pretty much.
You got the list, or are we supposed to keep track of our own list?
Yeah,
you want me to? I can keep track of your players for you.
No, I'm gonna keep a tally of it, I guess.
What do you mean the list? What are you talking about?
I'll keep a tally. I'll keep a tally of it.
Of who's got like players
of who's got who,
that sort of thing. Yeah.
No, I'll keep track of that. Just
okay.
get your guys' team. I'll keep track of who's on your team, and then I'll make my decision at the end. So
okay.
All right. So here we go. Number 1 through 25. Just go ahead. I got it. Whoever wants to go first. Go ahead.
11.
20.
8.
Oku is the first. My number was 7, so it's Oku.
Fuck.
Okay.
All right, here we go. All right, Oku, talk to me, my brother.
My captain is 100% Giannis.
Okay, Giannis.
Giannis
Jay?
for sure.
Stephen
Curry. Okay.
Curry.
Junior.
Durant.
What?
Durant.
Oh, okay.
Kevin Durant.
Durant. Okay, I didn't hear you. All right. So yeah.
Who was your captain, Cody?
Giannis.
All right, now Junior goes, right?
All right, yeah. So I'm gonna pick LeBron now.
Okay, so you can pick LeBron.
Sorry, okay.
That's fucking crazy, man. I just got robbed, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You got first pick. What you mean?
I got a Joker.
Got the Joker.
All right.
Still.
So you still got Joker. All right, so you're up, Oko.
All right, I'm gonna take PG.
All right, you take PG. All right, now
And
you
you know
go
what?
again.
Yeah, and I'm actually gonna build a better team. You know what? I'm gonna take Bradley Beal too on that.
Bradley Beal too. All right, now it's Jay.
No, you got Jay. Okay. Let me see who I got, man. I'll go with Jason Tatum.
Okay, so you're taking your team. I get 2 picks because I get next and I start the next round. So I'm taking Joel Embiid and Luka Doncic.
Okay.
All right, Junior, you got 4 players. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got those guys. I'm gonna go with. Man, give me DeMar DeRozan.
Ooh, that's solid.
That's a cold pick. That's a cold pick.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm riding with my dog Freddie. I want my guy in the lineup. And you know what? I'm gonna get Karl Anthony Towns in my center.
Wow. Okay. So
all right.
Go ahead.
So he's got DeMar. All right, so I got to pick my 5th player now.
No, it's me.
No, sorry, that's Oko again.
It's me.
No,
it's Jay. I picked my 2.
You picked your 2. Okay.
Yeah.
My bad, Jay.
That's good. There's a lot of good options here. To round out the squad. This is to round out the squad. Man.
Not going with Jake Poole?
Ooh.
Nah. Let me get Draymond Green.
All right.
Ooh, okay.
So now I get to pick my 5th?
Yeah, now you get to pick your 5th.
And did anybody pick? Hold on. I'm trying to see which of these players I want.
I'll tell you if they got picked up already.
All right, hold on. I'm going with Devin Booker.
Deep book. All right.
It was Devin Booker or James Harden, but I feel like Devin Booker's having a better year right now. So.
All right. Now, so let me read the teams off. Here we go. We got Oku's team, who has Giannis, Paul George, Bradley Beal, Freddie, and Karl Anthony Towns. We got Jay Hill's team that has Curry, Jokic, Tatum, DeMar, and Draymond Green. And we got Junior's team as Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Joel Embiid, Luka, and D Book. All right. So let me look at these teams.
I already know.
And
you're gonna pick.
I'm gonna tell you realistically, like who I think would win on a basketball court with NBA rules and a real game.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here.
John, just say it, bro. You know it's me. You know it's me. Just say it.
He knows it's LeBron, Kevin Durant, Luka Doncic, Joel Embiid. Hold on, I have the best forward, the best center. Actually, it's probably Jokic, but John would say it's Embiid.
Oh my God, this is.
I know he's gonna say you because you got Bron, but
no, it's not even. It's no. This has nothing. This is who I think is the best basketball team in a 5-on-5 game with NBA rules.
My team's solid, man.
Your team is solid, but the Oku and Junior's team is solid too, man. So I think what I'm gonna go with is I think I'm gonna go with Oku's team. The only reason why I'm gonna go with Oku's team now hear me out.
Just listen.
Hear me out. Giannis can do 1 through 5, everything, defense, offense, whatever it is that you want. Yeah, I mean we're talking about LeBron today.
Sure.
Giannis can do.
I don't have Kevin Durant. That's right.
Okay. All right, Giannis can do all of that. Paul George, just like DeMar and Zach LaVine, your two wing scorers, get a bucket at any single time, score all three levels. Freddie, shooter, point guard, lead the team, be the facilitator, be the playmaker. There's only one ball. So someone has to play make. Can't have 5 balls out there. Everybody playing one-on-one. Karl-Anthony Towns might be the most versatile.
That's an underrated pickup. That was an underrated
Karl-Anthony
pickup.
Towns. So and this is no disrespect to Junior or Jay Hill's team, man. I think you guys' team is great, but I just think Oku's team is just they complement each other. Like I get it, like Curry, Jokic, Tatum, DeMar, Draymond, LeBron, Joel Embiid, Luka, but there's only one ball. I'm picking a team. This is my honest answer. I'm picking a team that I could see working out there on the 5-on-5 team, the NBA rules, man. All right,
that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, I respect that pick. I would take either Junior's or mine, because Junior has KD and LeBron. LeBron's like one of the best PGs, point forwards in the game, obviously, of all time. And you got KD, the best scorer. And then on my team, you say passing. I got Jokic and Draymond, like two of the best facilitators in the game and passing bigs. But I get what you're saying.
Hey,
like,
look at Doncic feeding that man too.
And you got Doncic too. So I mean, I get what you're saying.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't like Doncic with LeBron and Durant.
Yeah, no, it
a real basketball game.
I definitely have. I double up for sure. Like Booker and KD are two bucket getters. Doncic and LeBron, they're bucket getters, but they're also two great facilitators. And you have Embiid, who is just good at everything.
Doncic ain't moving around without the ball. Doncic is still standing there. My team actually has players that move. PG's moving. Beal.
Realistically, I just think his players fit each other, and I think that it would fit on the court, right? I mean, there's a reason I'm not an NBA GM.
I think, look, Oko, I know that's your guy, but I think if this is a 5-on-5, your guy Freddie VanVleet is getting exposed out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bro,
yes.
Go look at Freddie's number before we say that.
If you said Trey, I would be more rocking with
Freddie's a better defensive player than Trey.
Yes. And he's not far off of an offensive player than Trey.
I was thinking about Trey, but I was thinking about Trey, man. I gotta put my heart in my team. I gotta have some heart in my team.
Oh man, every week this is a new reoccurring segment that we're gonna have, you guys. So that every week is gonna be a battle, man. So Oku, you won this one, man. So congratulations, man. Great team, guys. All right. So let's move, guys, to our next segment, another segment that I'm very, very, very excited about, man, and that's situational. So that's the game, guys. We have this new segment here called situational, and this is how this is going to work, guys. So I'm going to give you guys a scenario, right? I'm going to give you guys a scenario, like for example, get a bucket with 3 seconds left. And then I'm also going to assign you guys a player, right? Like for example, I assigned Jason Tatum to Junior, Devin Booker to Jay Hill, and Donovan Mitchell to Oko, right? Now I'm going to give you guys each around a minute and 20 seconds. I'll have a timer here. I'll take care of that. And you guys put together a little argument, put together a little debate. There's nothing crazy, nothing extensive, as to why your player is best in the situation that I give and why he's the best suited player. Is that cool with you guys?
Sir, get into it.
For sure. Let's get into it. Jay's excited, man. All right, let's get into it, man.
Ready for Oko, man.
All right, here we go, guys. Our first scenario is you got to get a game-winning stop. Got to get a game-winning stop right here. Need a defensive stop. Oko, I'm going to give you Draymond Green. Junior, I'm going to give you Ben Simmons. Jay Hill, I'm going to give you Rudy Gobert.
Okay.
So you guys can go ahead, and I'll let you guys know when the timer is going to start. The timer has started. I'll let you know when there's like 20 seconds or something like that, man. For the fans, So what's going on? What's up with the fans, man? We've been appreciating all the fan love, man. It's been big time. We appreciate everybody showing love on the socials, on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that, man. It's really starting to grow, and We really appreciate that. The views starting to run up, man. So we appreciate all the fans, man. And you guys at home too. You know, I want you guys to always participate in these games, whether you guys are dropping them in the comments down below if you're on YouTube. And if you guys are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you know, leaving some podcast reviews, you know, we appreciate it all, man. So the fan love is big, major. But for my guys over here, there's 30 seconds left. Just letting you guys know. 30 seconds left.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2. All right. Timer is up. Pencils down, please. Just kidding. All right, sure. All right, here we go. Jay, you want to go first since you finished first or what?
Yeah, I mean, it gives a little advantage to the fellas, but yeah, no, I don't mind because I mean, I have the best defender out of the three of these guys, and let me tell you why Rudy Gobert is the guy you want to be when you need a stop down the stretch. Number one, if you're a perimeter defender, if you're any defender, knowing that you have a shot protector, a rim protector, one of the best in the game, the best in the game, like Rudy Gobert, a guy who can change any shot at the rim, is definitely what you need because number one, he's a guy who can contest any shot. And if you know as a perimeter defender, you can put pressure on other guys and you have to worry about a guy who can change your shot at the rim, that psychologically plays its role as the defender and as a player trying to score. And then contesting a shot, if you're on, he's switched out onto a guy who's a shooter who can get his own shot. All that length and all that his wingspan, contesting a shot can change any shot, even on the perimeter and down low. And not to mention, as just a defensive rating, his worst defensive rating was his rookie year in 2014, 2015 as 97. And at this year, he's 104 as one of the best in the league, if not best in the league consistently. So he's a perfect guy you want getting stopped at the end of the game.
All right. I like that. That was a good little debate, Junior, talk to me.
Okay. Here's why Ben Simmons is the best defender out of those. First of all, this man can guard pretty much 1 through 5. And we know this. He's too tall for those who are as fast as him, and he's too fast for those who are as tall as him. That is a lethal combination on defense. Okay. That means he can stay in front of guards like Trae Young and Donovan Mitchell, but he can also stay in front of bigger guys like Luka, LeBron, because he's got that size to be able to actually stay in front of pretty much any player, right? So on top of that, he also has great hands. He led the league in steals in 2019-2020, averaging 2 steals a game. It's a pretty good stat. So he's still able to alter shots with his lankiness and his speed as well, so he can get over and alter shots, even if they're not blocks that are recorded statistic. He's altering the shots. Remember, he's an awful shooter on offense. He's an awful shooter. He's horrible. That's probably like the most important premise of a game, and he's still considered an all-star. He's still considered a good player because he's that freaking good on defense. That's why it's like we're thinking about like, damn, what are we going to trade him? If he sucked on defense and shot the ball like this, he wouldn't even be in the league. Like he's in the league and he's considered an all-star and an elite player because of how good he is on defense. He's a perimeter just mastermind when it comes to defending. And I will say you have, like Jay brought up a great point, but I'm seeing Rudy Gobert get burnt on the perimeter many times, and I don't think it's something that's happening with Ben Simmons. And we'll let Oko talk, but I have a counterpoint.
Wait. How are we getting rebuttals? I didn't get a rebuttal. How's that part?
There's no rebuttals. That was just his soliloquy. That was just his.
So I could say something about. I didn't say anything about.
No, after Jay goes through. After Oko goes through, I will give you each of you guys a rebuttal.
What? All right, Jay, you can add to yours. Oko, add to yours if you want. But I'm going to say this because I'm comparing who's the best defender between these three guys, and I'm going to tell you. Ben Simmons is a much better perimeter defender than Rudy Gobert, and he's got a lot more energy than Draymond Green does today in his day. I think you're seeing bursts of defensive greatness from Draymond Green. You can see that at a consistent level just because Ben Simmons is younger and isn't a better. I think he's a better athlete than Draymond Green is today. But absolutely. That's why I think Ben Simmons is a better defender.
Okay, I like that. That was good.
Hey, Junior,
so that's your rebuttal.
I'm not even going to rebuttal Junior. I love what you said, man. But when Ben Simmons wins the Defensive Player of the Year, let's talk after. Me and Jay both got that. So, and honestly, John, I'm low-key angry at you that you gave me Draymond Green, but I'm still going to ride out with him because I've been hating on dude for a while. Anyways, yo. Yeah, like you said, how many? Draymond Green, 6'7", 6'8". He's an undersized player. He's been an all-star for, as your point, he's scoring like under 10 points, still been an all-star just because of all the stuff he does. He's led to the Warriors to the number 1 defense this year. He's the quarterback of that whole defense. Every time the Warriors have won a championship, the Warriors as a team have been top 3 in defense, anchored by Draymond Green. When Green's out, the Warriors' defensive efficiency and ratings drop. He averages 2.3 steals. I think for his career, he averages almost 2 steals. Not too sure of that. He's the only player out of here that has a championship. And the old saying goes, defense wins championships. So I'm going to take Draymond Green. He's a consistent all-defensive NBA team. And if I need someone to get a stop, I have a guy who could guard 1 through 5.
Let me ask you, okay. Did the Warriors win titles because of Draymond Green's defense?
Definitely played a part.
Could they have won it without his level of defending?
No.
I think they could.
Jay, you're a huge Warriors fan. Do you guys really think? Hey, we saw it in 2016. We saw it in 2016. What happened when Draymond left? We saw it in 2016. No shade though. Just saying, Draymond Green is big on the court.
Thanks. But hey, let me get my rebuttal in since the fellas wanted to go ahead and do theirs before we were actually at that round. But here, let me tell you why Rudy Gobert is the best defender out of these 3. Women lie, men lie, numbers don't.
Hope did that. Yeah.
Rudy Gobert, Jay-Z said it best. Rudy Gobert's got not 1, not 2, but 3 Defensive Player of the Years. Draymond's got 1. Ben Simmons got a bagel. So Rudy Gobert just surely number 1 year after year, 3 times to be exact, winning Defensive Player of the Year. And that just goes to show you what he's doing for his team. Like Junior, you mentioned, he can't step out and guard 1 through 5. He can't guard guards on the perimeter. He doesn't have to, because at the rim on help side, guards know that they're not finishing the same way that they do when Rudy Gobert's off the court. The way that he affects team defense defensively year after year is why he's won Defensive Player of the Year 3 times. Is because what he's doing to change the game outside of not only guarding his one player, but changing the way that offensive players and his own teammates can defend the ball. He's taking pressure off them by knowing that, man, I got a defender, a guy who's going to block this shot, or he's going to change this shot in order to make my life easier as a defender. And that's what you need, the way he can change the game night in, night out, matchup to matchup, with not even having to guard the ball. And when the players that you mentioned, Ben Simmons and Draymond Green, they got to guard the ball because they're smaller, just numbers again. Rudy Gobert's 7'2" with, I think he's got an 8-foot wingspan. I don't know. He may even have a bigger one than that. So he can just sheer radius do more than Ben Simmons and Draymond Green can do.
Jay, I'll give you that. I mean, both of your guys' players have won Defensive Player of the Years, and I'll cede that Draymond Green and Rudy Gobert may be better defenders on average when you look at the whole season. But if I need to get 1 bucket, I'm taking Rudy Gobert. I'm bringing his ass out to the perimeter, and I'm cooking that man. And I think that you can't do that with Ben Simmons. You bring him to the perimeter, he's still a menace. You bring him under the basket, he can still be a menace. I mean, it depends. Obviously, if he were to go up against Joel Embiid in the post, he would lose. But I'm saying I think you have a threat to he could be a defensive threat from pretty much anywhere.
All right. Oko, do you have anything you want to rebuttal on, or are you good? Have you got everything off your chest?
Just talk to me. Just talk to me when they got a championship, and then we'll continue this conversation.
Talk to me when you got 3 Defensive Players of the Years.
All right, man. All right, so
1's cute, 0's terrible. So I mean,
all right. So
I don't got nothing to say to that. All right, talk to me when your guys have a jump shot.
All right, man. So let me make my pick as to who I think would be best in the situation and who I think really put up the best argument. And not to sound like a broken track record, man, but I think Oku put up the best argument, man, talking about.
I'm calling a review right here.
What something Oku said is real. He said, defense wins championships. Draymond Green, out of all those guys, has the most championships. I hear you, Junior. That point that you made is extremely valid. I think the Warriors still would have been equally as successful without Draymond Green there, but he played a vital part, and he is a big piece to their defense. I mean, right now I believe they have the number one defense. I don't know
number one defense.
Number one defense in the league right now, right? And it's and like Oku said, he's the quarterback, he's the linebacker of that defense, and he's just out there running it. I definitely agree that both Ben Simmons and Rudy Gobert have better rim protection than Draymond Green. But like I say all the time on this podcast, I don't think that Draymond Green's rim protection is far off than from theirs, and I think Draymond Green could very much stick with a player in the perimeter, man. So okay.
Now, John, you can fact check this. John, you can fact check this, but I'm pretty sure when the Warriors won their championships, I don't know about the last one, but the previous two, he was the number one defensive rated player on their team. You can fact check that, but I remember something about that on the that I was hearing about it like on the broadcast.
I don't doubt it, man. Yeah. He's a great defender, man. But all right, so let's get to our second scenario that we got here, guys. And you're looking for a guy to come off the bench and be a microwave. You're down early in the game, and you're looking for a microwave. Okay, here we go. Jay Hill, you have Tyler Hero. Junior, you got Jordan Clarkson. Oku, you got Kelly Oubre. 10 seconds.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2. All right. Oku, you want to go first on this one?
I'll go first. So Kelly Oubre Jr. averages 17 points, shoots 46%, super efficient. Now, what the good thing about Kelly Oubre is if you're one of your guys get nicked up, get hurt, you know what? You can plug him in, put him in the starting lineup. You see what he's doing now. This week, without Terry Rozier, LaMelo Ball, he's averaging 26.8 points. As being generous, is really 27 points per game, shooting 51%. That's a guy that can score from all levels, score threes, layups, mid-range. Not to mention, too, he can get a defensive stop because he averages almost 2 steals a game. So I'm taking Kelly Oubre as my bench player. I know he doesn't have awards yet, but he's a younger player right now. He's been in the league for a bit, but I think he's really starting to find his footing on a Charlotte Hornets team. And I think he's a big catalyst of why they've even been maintaining a regular season without Terry Rozier and LaMelo, because they could have completely tanked off since they got out.
Absolutely. That was a great point. Jenner?
All right. So you mean Jordan Clarkson. He won Sixth Man of the Year. Probably one of the better Sixth Man of the Year campaigns that we've seen in the last couple of years. That's the definition of a microwave off the bench. Like, he was averaging 18 points a game off the bench. 18.4 points per game off the bench. That's incredible. Like, if I had more time, I'd love to actually research how many games. I mean, obviously, you can't take it black and white like that, but how many games the Jazz won by less than 18 points where Jordan Clarkson had, a significant showing? That means they had the best record in the freaking NBA last season, right? That's because they were able to get production from the starters and production from the guys coming off the bench. And number one leading that charge was Jordan Clarkson. He was the reason. He was partially responsible for them having that number one overall record because he was able to be a microwave off the bench. This year, he's not at 18, but he's averaging 15 points per game, which is still very good off the bench. 90% from free throw, 35% from three, and 43% from the field. Right? Those are all very good numbers for somebody you need to come in off the bench. We've seen the best teams always have good scoring off the bench. And let's not forget, this man dropped 42 points in a game last season. Like, that's not for just anybody. I mean, another thing, if we had more time, I'd love to look at the names of NBA players who have scored 40 points in a game. And it's going to be some pretty elite company, and it's going to be Jordan Clarkson there. And that is a proof that this man is a freaking microwave off the bench because he's giving you great scoring performances off the bench, which allows your starters to rest for a little bit longer and your team doesn't miss a beat. So I think Jordan Clarkson, far and away the best microwave off the bench in the league.
Absolutely. Love that. Jay, talk to me, bro.
Yeah. Let's talk about Tyler Hero. Last person to go, last person to be talked about, definitely not the least. Let me tell you why. Tyler Hero, number one, this year is averaging 20 points per game. You guys threw out some cute numbers, 18, 17, or whatever you threw out. 20 is the best out of those three. Off the bench, he's so good. Tyler Hero is so good that, Spoelstra is inclined sometimes to start him because you know what you're going to get. You're going to get efficiency, shooting 44% on the year from the field, and taking the tough shots that he does, still managing to shoot 38%, almost 48% from the 3-point line at the number plus 86%, like just a real efficient numbers from the line, 86% from the line. Being able to be an efficient playmaker, averaging 4 assists, 5 rebounds, and overall, just a great option to have off the bench. The best in the league, in my opinion. A clear-cut favorite for the most improved player of the year at the level he's playing at. I feel like when they have him as a piece, being able to score off the bench, I think Miami's one of the deepest teams in the league at full strength. And it's because of the versatility of being able to, when a guy like Jimmy Butler's hurt or a guy like Kyle Lowry, a champion, Tyler Hero's able to step right in and be their first playmaker off the bench. And is exactly what you need, exactly why they were he was a huge part of their run in the bubble to lead them and help them all the way to the finals in 2020 and come up just short against the Lakers. And that wasn't a fluke. Like, we saw him struggle last year and after coming out of the bubble, and we've seen him adjust to be playing the best basketball of his career this season. So, he's the best microwave scorer out of these three and out of this bunch by far.
All right.
Let me know when I can rebuttal.
Go ahead.
Jay, Tyler Hero, like you said, started some of his games. This man he's played 24 games. He started 7 of them. That's 30% of his games were as a starter. Not only that, this man is averaging 33 minutes a game. Jay Clarkson's averaging 24 minutes a game. He's played 26 games and he started 0 of them. So he's not putting up Clarkson's not putting up numbers as good as Tyler Hero, but he's almost there on significantly less minutes and significantly less games started. Like, yes, Tyler Hero's a better player than Jordan Clarkson. I completely agree with that. But off the bench, who's a better 6-man? I've got to go with Jordan Clarkson.
You said microwave scorer, though. What's the debate?
Is it a microwave scorer off the bench, or
a microwave scorer off the bench? Come off the bench. A guy that you would want for your 6-man out of those 3 guys that I listed.
Yeah, give me the best player out of those 3. If that's the debate, give me the best player. You literally said it. He's the better player. So thank you. Give me the better player out of those players.
Great. Then Jordan Clarkson, 6-man. And let me bring Kevin Durant off my bench just because I can't. Nah. Yeah, Tyler Hero's a better player. If that's a competition, I got no argument for that. But when we're looking at, does Tyler Hero even qualify to be a 6-man with the amount of minutes he's getting?
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Oku? You have any rebuttal, or you ain't got nothing to say?
I really got not too much.
Fuck Kelly Oubre.
I got no too much rebuttal, but I just said like a microwave scorer. Without Rozier and LaMelo, like when he's in the position, he's averaging almost 30. When he's off the bench, he's averaging about 15 to 17. So was shooting 46%. So I'm taking that any day.
Give me one more rebuttal to why it's definitely not Kelly Oubre or Jordan Clarkson. Give me the better playmaker overall, a guy who's averaging higher assists than both of those 2 players, a guy who's averaging more points. So he's doing it. He can get it both ways. Like, you want the dimes, you want the assists, you want the playmaking for other players. He can do it. Kelly Oubre for sure ain't doing that. Jordan Clarkson's doing it at a lower level than Tyler Hero. And he's averaging more points than both of those 2. So that's all I got to say.
All right. So decision time, guys. I have to go with the player that's going to overall bring me the best. He's going to heat my team up. He's going to heat himself up, and he's going to heat my team up. And I think that's Tyler Hero, man. He's going to be able to score for himself, find himself the buckets, but also be able to facilitate to others, man. So, all right. So let's move to our last scenario. This scenario is going to be a really freaking good one. I've been thinking about this one for a long time. I'm excited to give the players out for this one, man. So this scenario, okay, this guy's going to be the leader of your franchise for the next 10 years. Okay. This guy's going to be the leader of your franchise for the next 10 years. Jay Hill, you get LaMelo Ball. Junior, You get Ja Morant. Oku, you get Jokic.
Oh, okay.
Mike, I ain't give you one easy one. I was hoping you would have said like I was hoping you would have told Oko like Trae Young or something like that, but this man went straight for Nikola Jokic, fucking MVP.
Well, right. let me say this. Well, in the last episode, me, Junior, Jay Hill, and Greg, we were talking about who's that guy, and then Junior, we were talking off text, and you said you guys forgot about Luka. You said you said you guys forgot about Jokic. So I wanted to add Jokic in there. All right. Mm-hmm. So we go with that. All right. Timer. All right.
I'll start. What I got to say about Jokic. First of all, he just came off an MVP season, leading the Nuggets, shorthanded Nuggets, the third spot in the NBA, averaging 26.4, 10.8 rebounds, 8.3 assists, damn near a triple-double. Now, I don't hear anyone talking about it because this year he's averaging 26.5, 13.5 rebounds, 7.2 assists. The only reason he's not in conversations right now is because of his injury. I'm taking Jokic because he's a threat on all facets of the game. He's a facilitator. He's a scorer. He's a rebounder, and he can play defense. He's strong enough that you can't just bully him on the post, and he's big enough where he can bring a rim protection. Also, he's a leader because you could see without guys like Jamal Murray, which is a starting point guard, that is your facilitator. That is the guy who's supposed to get everyone involved, set a tone. He led that team without him to the third spot. They also, in the bubble, took the Lakers to 6 games in the Western Conference Finals. He's also upset teams when he was in that lesser role, like the Portland Trail Blazers. So I'm gonna take Jokic for the next 10 years because his trajectory is up. Give me any day a guy is going to average 27 and 10 and 8 assists for the next 10 years. I'm taking that.
All right, I like it. Jay Hill, you want to kick it off here okay, I'll go second here?
Yeah, sure. I'll take it off. We're talking about LaMelo Ball, and why he's definitely better than Jokic. Who did Junior get?
Ja.
I got Ja Morant.
Ja. Yeah, I mean, number one, in the next 5 years, that's the question. So what has LaMelo done from his rookie year, where I'm have to add he was rookie of the year, so that's the best player out of the whole rookie class, despite breaking his hand throughout in the middle of the season, I believe, and still putting together a better season, leading his team to the brink of playoffs, losing in elimination game to the the Indiana Pacers. And leading them almost right there as a rookie. What did he do from 2021 season to now the 2021-22 season? He averaged 15 points in his rookie year, and now he's jumped all the way to 20 points. That's a 5-point difference, one of the biggest point differentials of averaging in the league, I believe, to be top 5. And then rebounding, 8 points rebounds a game, where he averaged 6 in his rookie year. And then now assists, he's 8.3 assists a game. So night to night, he's a triple-double threat. We've seen him both jump in his three-point percentage to almost 40% clip at 39%, still right around 40% as a whole in his field goal percentage. And the reason I think that he's going to be the best out of those 5, his teammates just love playing with him. You see that he brings out the best in each of his players, from Miles Bridges, who's playing like the most improved player this year, Kelly Oubre, who Oko just said and talked this high praise about, and he's playing at a higher level, where last year with the Warriors, he was having one of the worst seasons of his career. Now, what's the difference? He's playing with LaMelo. He's playing in Charlotte. That's a huge difference because he's playing night to night. He's getting better looks because of LaMelo Ball. You look at Terry Rozier. You look at Gordon Hayward, guys who are playing the best basketball of their career. Why? Because they have LaMelo leading them night to night, getting them better looks, making their job a lot easier. And he's just a triple-double, so fun to play with. In the next 5 years, they predict him as a future All-Star. I look at him to be a future MVP because of what he can do in the next 5 years. So that's all I got to say.
All right. Junior?
All right. So I got a middle player. I got a player who hasn't done as much as Jokic, but I think has done more than LaMelo Ball. So I'm gonna have to try to play the middle ground here. So first of all, Jay brought up a good point, and it's not a rebuttal. It's just because I have a similar point. So I'm going to touch on your point that you brought up about affecting your teammates loving you, being able to, have that effect on and off the court. That's the definition of Ja Morant. That man, you look at that team, he went down, the solidarity that they built around him, and they've been able to keep up this very, very good good performance so far that they're sitting fourth in the West at 16-11. So that means that, he has that. He's already seen, I think, as the leader in that locker room, despite his age. And not only that, he has the intangibles, but he's also giving you 24 points a game, 7 assists, 36% from three, 48% from the field, and he's averaging 1.6 steals a game. All right, so he's got the numbers. He has the intangibles. He has another intangibles. I mean, I guess you can't really measure, but it's his grit. I mean, I always say this, John, man. This guy reminds me of Allen Iverson. He's an undersized guard that is extremely gritty and will get you a bucket no matter what, no matter how. You saw that in his second season last year or third season. This last season was second season, I believe. Yeah, second season. Yeah, so it always becomes a blur after a while. But and like you saw him, he took the Warriors to the end, and then he was the one giving it to them at the end. He was the one giving. They put the ball in his hands, and he was the one going out there and getting the points, and then took them. They shouldn't. They were not a better team than the Warriors. They beat the Warriors to get in the playoffs, and they're able to take a game off the Jazz, and he's averaging 30 points a game in his first freaking playoff series ever. So, I want you to look at that. There hasn't even been that much time for him to do so much stuff yet, and he's already averaging 30 freaking points a game in his first playoff series against theoretically the best team in the NBA. That we all know they weren't the best team per se, but they had the best record in the NBA, and he was putting 30 points a game on them, right? With his team that was severely outmatched as well. So when you look at all this, I just think that you have a player that has already proven and that he can do it on an NBA level, in a playoff level, which LaMelo hasn't, which is not his fault. It's his second freaking year, but LaMelo hasn't been able to do that. Hasn't had enough time to do that. Jokic has, in a sense. I mean, they got to the Western Conference Finals, but he's also had a lot more time than Ja. So Ja's done it in a short amount of time, and he's still very, very young. He's still got a lot more time. You can put, how old is Ja Morant? 22?
22.
You could still put 10 years of him dominating pretty much, right? Where I think with Jokic, he's 26. He's 25, 26.
26 or 27.
Yeah.
26 or 27. So he's got, maybe 5 more years max, and he's already not the most athletic player. LaMelo's got obviously a lot of time as well coming up, but he's not proven it to the same level that Ja does. Not really his fault, but we know that Ja has proved it. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's why I'm going with Ja Morant.
All right. So I'm right. I'm honestly, guys, the three. I just was so excited to hear the three of your guys' arguments and debates as far as all that. But who I gotta go with, and I agree, Jokic has done the most, but he has been there for the most time. He has had the most time in the league, man. And with everything that all three of you guys said, I have to take Ja Morant, man. And the reason why I gotta take him, man, and the reason why I gotta take him, man, is because like how you were talking about, Junior, that grit that he has in him, that he went to a playoff series, and like how you said, the Jazz weren't the best team, but theoretically, on record wise, they were the best team, and he went out there and he showed out, man. He showed up in a very big moment. And I don't mean to sit here and compare Ja and LaMelo, but I mean, when LaMelo was in the play-in game, he kind of folded and crumbled against the Indiana Pacers, right? Didn't really have that great of a game. Ja Morant was in a play-in game against the Warriors, had a great game, rose to the challenge, and took one off the Jazz, man. So I definitely got to go with Ja Morant on this one. But if you got any of those three guys, you are in a very good standing.
Yeah, you said for sure.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with any of those.
Facts, man. But all right, so I hope that you guys enjoyed this little segment called Situational, man. So now, me and Jay's favorite segment is our little player of the week. All right, we just talk about who's been the best player this week. So we can just talk about it real quick. I'll go ahead and kick mine off, man. And that's the guy I told you we talk about later, man. That's Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert's been having one heck of a week for himself, man. In the last 10 games, 14 points, 13 rebounds, 3 blocks, and 70% from the free throw line. And we were talking about he's just such a defensive anchor, man. You know, I had 20 and 11 against the Wizards, 17 and 21 against the Sixers, 17 and 16 against the Celtics. Just been real dominant. And the Jazz are on a 7-game win streak, and there's no way he's not huge a part of that 7-game win streak, man. So that's who I got. I don't know who wants to go next.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna go with the 2-time MVP, the Freak, the Greek Freak. Putting together a great week. 20, 41 points. A slower game on Wednesday again with 15 against the Heat, and 27 in a win against the skyrocketing Cleveland Cavaliers. And what just shows me is the reason he's the most valuable player to the Bucks, and that's if he has a stinker like he did against against the Heat, they lose. They need Giannis to perform night to night. And I mean, huge game against the Rockets. 41 points, 17 rebounds, 2 blocks, 3 steals. I mean, my goodness, that guy put in a great night at the office, shooting 78, almost 80% from the field. Like, that's unheard of numbers. Even shooting 33% from the 3-point line. I mean, that's great. That's what you need from your guy, the Greek Freak. And I mean, he had a great week this week, and also stopping the Rockets, I believe, 7 or 8 game win streak. So just a huge week from the Freak.
For mine, I know Jay's probably gonna flip, but I gotta go with the King, man. And I know that they did drop a game against the Grizzlies, but I'll get into that. Beat the Celtics. That was a huge statement win that the Lakers really, really needed it, and he did that. And he was able to put up 30 points, and he was able to grab 4 rebounds, 5 assists. But he put a 30-point performance against the Celtics. In the loss of the Grizzlies, he still had. I'm not gonna say he played his best game, but I wouldn't pin the loss on him. And he was still able to put up a triple-double: 20 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists, and then beat the Thunder with a 33-point performance. So 2-1, and tonight's game still counts for game of the week. He's got the Magic tonight. I mean, we've seen surprising things from the Lakers this season.
Junior.
But, yes.
I have a question. Who are you talking about? You said the King. Who
the King, LeBron James.
The GOAT.
Okay. LeBron. Okay, gotcha.
The GOAT.
Okay.
The King.
Okay, so he's 2-1. He's 2-1 so far this week. By the time you guys probably hear this, he'll probably be 3-1 because he'll beat the Magic and probably put up another good performance. I don't put it past him. I mean, the Magic are 5-22. So I'm going with LeBron for my player of the week.
He had a great week. No, I'm not mad at that, but you just can't lose to a Ja Morant-less Grizzlies and be the player of the week. That's why the only reason why.
It's not. I mean, it's not on one player though. It's a team effort. You lose.
I'm just saying.
He did his blame.
If you wanted to assess blame, I'd go through a lot of players before I got to LeBron. Like, he played his part, but I go through a lot of players, a lot of stars before I got to LeBron. He put up a triple-double. Like, he lost, but
he can only do so much.
Some reasonable performance from his teammates, I think they probably could have walked out of that game. But
can only do so much.
All right, man. I think I got the most non-sexy name out of all mans. My player of the week is Garrison Matthews. The man's been averaging this week 16.8 points, 3.5 rebounds, 1.3 assists, led the Houston Rockets to 7-game winning streak. I know there's other pieces, but he's coming straight from the G League to the league, and that's what he's doing. Wins that included on that 7-game winning streak are against the Nets and Bulls. I want to give him a big shout out against Milwaukee, even though they lost. He had 23 points, shot 7 for 13, made 6 threes, shot 54%. Like, that's a guy coming from the G League, making a huge impact. And, I know Rockets have had a terrible season, but now they're moving a bit up, right? You could see some positive direction towards them, and that's because of Garrison Matthews. So I'm giving him the player of the week.
Absolutely, man. I like that, man. So we got a good 4 players of the week, man. And Garrison with Garrison Matthews, Giannis, LeGoat, and my guy, and my guy Rudy, man.
LeBron,
yeah, LeGoat James, yeah,
LeBron.
Man. But LeGoat, but all right, guys.
LeBron.
So I've been saying this whole episode, man. Shout out LeGoat, man. Shout out shout out the whole NBA, man. But as always, you guys don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, man. If you guys are on Apple Podcasts, make sure to leave us a nice little review. If you guys are on YouTube, hit that comment little box down below and leave us a little comment. Let us know about who your favorite player is, who your player of the week is, who you would have drafted in an all-star draft, man. Just whatever it is that you want to drop, man. And Oku and Junior, man, me and Jay really appreciate you guys making the time to come on here, talk some hoop with us, man. So you guys got any last words you wanted to say?
Appreciate you having us on. Like it was a lot of fun. Debate all those topics, all the players. It was a great episode. I had a lot of fun.
Yes, sir. Oku.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I had fun, man. Cody, good looks. It was good. It was good being on Clutch Talk, man. Anytime you guys want me on, man, just hit me.
Yes, you guys are always welcome, man. And Jay, what's up, man? You any last words to say?
Appreciate y'all coming on the show as usual. Oko, long overdue having you back on the show, and yeah, this was fun, yo.
Yes, sir, man. So everyone, man, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and that's it, man. We out of here, y'all. Clutch Talk out.
Peace.